Hi, Geminis. I hope you're doing well. This is your reading for, I think it's August 5th, 2021. Let's move this right here. I was working on a grid earlier. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on. Okay. Let's use this deck. Gemini, take a deep breath. There's a lot of weird energy I'm picking up. Like a lot of judgment, a lot of anxiety almost. Take a deep breath. Let it all go. This is what you need to know for your now day. There was a song that popped into my head while I was meditating earlier, and it's a song by Sarah McLachlan called Full of Grace. Something about the winter here being cold and bitter. You might be feeling alone or something. And I know it's easy to say it, but you're not alone. If you need somebody to talk to, go ahead and email me. It's eveofsophia@hotmail.com. Let's see what you need to know for today. Four of Swords, or the Four of Inspiration. Wait, I think that's the Four of Wands. Yeah. Four of Wands and the Sun. So whatever situations you're going through, this is a massive I can't pick up anything negative on this at all. What I'm picking up on, it's like an anxiety or an impatience regarding something that brings people together or that you're working on that will bring you stability. Your home life, your finances, your stability, the energy you work with throughout the day, everything's being replenished. Look at the heart on top of that right there. And the person meditating. I'm noticing the mandala and the flower, which looks like a hibiscus, that I have growing right under this table, actually. So maybe go out in nature. The thing I'm noticing about this that I can't seem to get out of my head, they're not on the ground. They're not anywhere corporeal except for a slab of stone, and there's four of them. It's almost as if your team in spirit is pulling strings for you to send support to you. The colors of those beams on top of them, the connection to their higher selves, are teal, green, red, and blue. And there's 6 orbs above their heads, but there's only 4 streams. And oddly enough, one of them is wearing the exact same shirt I'm wearing. That one right there. So there's 4 people working on your behalf to bring about I don't want to say a positive outcome, but it's an outcome to a situation that you thought was barren. Look at the sand. It's like you've been stuck in some kind of a cycle that you think nothing can grow in, but there's things growing off in the corner while you're meditating, and you're expanding your perception of reality and what there is and what there isn't. It's kind of like you've been believing a lot of false beliefs. Oh, look at that. See those 6 little triangles? One of them is right underneath that. There's 6 right there. And then there's 6 orbs up here. 6 plus 4 is a 10. So something's starting over again. You've completed something. Maybe it's a relationship with a family member. Maybe it's a relationship with a energy you were interacting with. You know, the more I'm trying to explain this, the more I'm realizing, oh, that. It's like something you want, but you haven't been putting the effort into it. And the fact that I thought this was the Four of Swords in the beginning, and the stillness that I get from this card, and again with the stillness and meditation in this card, I I feel like you're being asked, Gemini, to not make any big or sudden moves in your life. Kind of just chill out, enjoy the day, go out in the sun, maybe work on some mandalas, like sacred geometry type things, and color them in. Or maybe try to have like a lunch date or a dinner date with some friends and family. There's a definite need for communication, or for you to be communicated to. But again, I'm really feeling the energy of don't do anything out of the ordinary other than eliminating negative behavior. Even if it's one thing, let's say you smoke cigarettes every hour or something, like don't smoke one every hour today. Maybe smoke one every 2 hours. If you're drinking, don't drink so much today. Maybe just, replace a glass of wine with a glass of water and meditate. There's a big need for you to shift what you're doing and your habits, because you're headed towards something today that's going to present itself as an opportunity that seems like a pebble in the clouds. Like it's just something that, regardless of whether you catch it or not, it seems pointless and it seems like it's destined to fail. But it's not. The reason why you might be feeling that way is because there's something internally that has you separated from others. It's like a detached feeling, like part of you is constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the sky to fall, waiting for, the bad news. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's almost as if, regardless of how much this sun shines and illuminates your existence, there's still a part of you that feels completely isolated and alone. And even while you're isolated and alone, there's still people and energies attempting to get you to see that you're part of a bigger picture. It's like you're not seeing it. And I feel like I'm not seeing it. And I think that's the point. There's something you're not seeing that you're going to see. I just noticed the sunflower in this, and 6 black triangles and 6 white triangles over here, and then there's bursts of green. And I don't know if you do any sun gazing at dawn and dusk, but if you notice when you're sun gazing, there's a certain point where right before the dawn, or right after, like right as the sun sets on the horizon, there's a flash of green from the sun. If you look at that flash of green, the frequency of that color causes a impulse of regeneration within your physical body. These 4 beings could be depictions of your mind, body, spirit, and environment, right? So again, I keep seeing you just chilling out. Don't strain yourself, don't exert yourself, don't push things. Somebody could be pregnant and they might be going into labor. It's going to be a beautiful baby. It's healthy. It's perfect. Some of you are getting pregnant. Others of you are getting a job offer. Some of you are getting a big chunk of money coming in. Some of you are getting an invitation to move to a new home, or someone wants to move in with you. Maybe you're getting a roommate or a puppy of some kind. Someone's definitely going to get plants. Others of you feel lost and you're being asked to work on your solar plexus chakra, which is the seat of your willpower, your drive, your initiative, how resilient you are, how much you persevere, and how much how much you actually fight against things that don't need fighting because of stubborn energy. I'm really curious about this. Hold on a minute. What's the deal with this Four of Inspiration? It's such a good energy that I'm kind of suspicious about it because it doesn't make sense why I would feel this sense of sand dunes when there's so much growth and peace and happiness and love. Maybe you're at peace with something. Maybe something ended in your life recently, in recent 4 days, or you noticed something about people and it's gotten you to accept and release some negative belief. And now you're just kind of in that in between state before a new belief is really ingrained to replace the previous belief. Soldier, yeah, you're adamant. You're like respond. There's a sense of responsibility. Like you're cautious about peace. It's like your sense of peace seems to be diluted into having you think that in order to have peace, you need to fight. In order to be happy, you need to like learn sadness, like that weird duality thing. We don't want to deal with duality anymore. And if we are going to deal with duality, we're going to deal with it in a very harmonized way instead of like a pendulum swinging back and forth. Consolation and sorrow in reverse. Like I said earlier, there's definitely news coming to you that will alleviate and support you in certain areas of your life, especially financially, emotionally, and areas of your life that have been in conflict. There's an angel bringing in an olive branch and a bag of money. You've really been working hard on bettering yourself. And if for those of you that haven't, you're being asked to do so. And the sorrow card in reverse means there's happiness on the way. Whatever this gift you're receiving today, it's going to be the seeds of happiness that will bloom for you within 3 to 4 weeks, but much earlier. You're going to notice it's going to, when like you got the first stimulus check, how good it felt, but there was that anticipation of the stimulus check, and some of us were like in a really bad financial position, and some still are. And we feel like a soldier, like we're just waiting and holding the line until money comes in so we can feel free. You know, your team in spirit, your friends, your family, your colleagues, all areas of your life that form the foundations, the four walls, the four pillars of your life are asking you, please stop fighting. Simply remain in a state of peace, happiness, and accept whatever the fuck happened. Because regardless of how much you attempt to change it, in the process of you changing that situation, you're perpetuating that energy within your being, attempting to unravel it. So instead of doing that, just utilize what narcissists do and give it the cold shoulder. Do the gray rock thing that you would towards a narcissist. If, like, I don't know if you saw the cartoon series Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's a monster in that show that steals your face. If you make any like expression on your face while you're looking at it, it copies your face. You're being asked to be positive in your expressions so that these monsters, the matrix, the mirror, reflects the positivity. Instead of being like a soldier and adamant that you need to do this or do that, put down the war, put down the battle to try to heal yourself, get off the journey of spiritual enlightenment for now, and the self-help thing and the vegan versus meat eating and all that other crap. Just put it all aside for now. Pretend the internet doesn't exist. Pretend it's not 2021, but it's like 1600s. And just be still. Be as content within your day as you possibly can. I'm being shown a world where it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and if like somebody like the Twilight Zone where that guy is standing in front of the camera talking, but behind him it's like a still picture, like the thing pauses and then the narrator comes out and talks. The narrator that's talking to me is saying that it's kind of showing me, let the thing, oh, Amy Winehouse, fade to black. Let whatever you've been going through fade to black and just be still. Like, even if you were in a post-apocalyptic world with no internet, no nothing, would you carry what you're carrying with you now to that? No, right? You'd only take like material things, certain material things, and the people you love, and you would flip a switch into a sort of survival point or whatever. Instead of doing all of that, jump to the end where you're at peace and you have your house, your garden, your kids, your family, blah, 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 whatever it is you find to be your happily ever after. Just for today, clear the channels, the beams, clear those so that the sun can illuminate your life and bring in what needs to be brought in without having to bring it into your life in a state of fighting you to give you something. It's like being like this and saying, I need this. And the universe is like, okay, well, I'm going to give it to you. And you're like, no, I need it. I need it in my hand. And the universe is like, okay, well, let go. And you're like, if I let go, then I open my hand and then I'm vulnerable. Someone else can put something in there. So you stand there holding your hand like this because you're afraid to receive something. And I find it very strange that it's so ambiguous to me. It's like the message keeps going right to the solution. It's not giving me any kind of frivolous, methods or anything. It's infinite intelligence keeps telling me, just be at peace. It's imperative that you're at peace. You release sorrow, avoid feeling sorrow, avoid self-medicating with that, and just pretend for a little while today, while you're sitting in the grass, while you're walking, taking a walk, just be yourself. Because your true self isn't miserable. Your true self isn't fighting for anything. Your true self doesn't have to convince anyone of anything. Your true self simply is connected to Source, and they allow Source to provide for them. Learn to recognize that energy of allowing instead of asking, begging, and waiting to receive. Just allow it, whatever it is. That way, it can come to you in a way that you didn't even expect for it to come to you. What area or what is the Sun card about? Service. The universe is trying to give you something. Please don't fight it. Service in what area? All areas? Well, yeah, all areas. It's the Sun. Whoa. Service, servant, misfortune, sigh, malady, friend. Some of you have a friend that has been ill and you're worried about them. They're going to be fine. If you continue to worry about them, you will be feeding and fanning the flames of the thing you don't want to occur. Some of you are traveling to help a friend in need. Some of you have experienced so much misfortune that you can't even believe that there's good people. That there's good people in the world. It's like you're just waiting to, put your shoes on and leave it all behind. But good news is on the way. Good news is definitely on the way. There are people working on your behalf. There are things happening that you can't comprehend yet, no matter how much you study for it, no matter how much you try to figure it out. Those of you that are worried about your health, please affirm that you are healthy and you are always healthy. Affirm that the universe, infinite intelligence, always provides you with everything you need, just like it provides a plant everything it needs, just by the plant being a plant. A flower doesn't pretend to be a tree doesn't pretend to be a cabbage doesn't pretend to be an apple. Stop pretending to be something else so you can get what's meant for you. If you're having issues with your legs, you're not going to go and treat your arms, right? Knight of Voices. This is the Knight of Swords. And Pegasus is about freedom, transformation, purity, forgiveness, evolution, being freed, real, true freedom. Then there's the Buddhist prayer flags over there and the cliffs with the clouds. And then the sun. But the sun is blocked out by clouds, which is basically a mirror reflecting the clouds on the ground, or what seems to be the ground. Gemini, this really seems like you're all over the place with your mind and your body and your emotions, and you're like longing for some kind of a freedom or clarity. What you're not seeing is literally right in front of your face. It's like you're trying to find something that will help your situation, but the thing that's going to help your situation is for you to stop looking for the help for the situation. Just take a moment, get out of that state of conflict so that the solution can make itself known to you. It's kind of like attempting to solve like you're baking a cake, but instead of using flour, you're using spaghetti noodles, and you're like, why isn't this cake working? I'm using wheat, I'm using flour. It doesn't work that way, right? Like you need the right thing. And if you're looking all over the world throughout all these clouds trying to find clarity on something, then what you're putting into the universe is that you're trying to find clarity. So the universe is going to keep extending that path towards clarity so that you can keep trying, because that's what you want to do. You want to keep trying. Claim that you have the clarity you have and let it come. And if it seems difficult, if it seems impossible, if it seems like I'm just talking out of my ass to you and saying do something when it's, easier said than done and all that shit, well, there's a reason why you think that, and maybe that's the belief you're supposed to change, because if you believe that it's easier said than done, if you flip that to it's easier done than said, it would already be done. But somebody put the belief in your head that it's easier said than done, and you've repeated it for so long that you think it's easier said than done, when in reality, it's just as easy to do it, because it's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be free internally. Regardless of if you're in prison on a different fucking planet, in a different dimension, in a mind game prison, it doesn't matter. You can choose here and now to feel good. And if you don't, if there's resistances, that's what the universe, infinite intelligence, is pointing to you for. Why do you think it needs to be difficult? Recognize that plant in your garden that's telling you it's difficult. Find the root, get rid of it, put the belief that it's easier done than said. Because that by the time you say it's easier said than done, you could have made the choice to be happy and felt happiness, Yeah, I know you don't want to hear it. You're ticked off, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm here to help you, not to coddle you. You're manifesting all the time. There's those four beams again, but this time they're orbs. You can manifest a miserable life where you're constantly struggling, or you can manifest with ease and grace, dignity, nobility, wisdom, clarity, authenticity, integrity, nobility, divinity, support, community, or you can say, all is lost, it's difficult, this is happening, that's happening, the world's gone crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then that's what you're going to get. Notice the world we're living in. It reflects everything back at us, and then we're gaslit into reflecting back at ourselves what people are gaslighting us to reflect back at ourselves. If you can detach yourself from that and simply recenter yourself into who you are and what you know, then your manifestations will flow easily and effortlessly. But as long as you're including yourself in the human collective, in the societal collective, and trying to work by their rules and by their manifestation methods, by their healing methods, by their therapy methods, whatever, when you work by another person's methods, you're not being authentic to yourself. So, yes, there is a time and place to work with other people. There is a time and place to learn new things and to learn to do things differently. But right now, you're being asked to not include other people's opinions. Just be you authentically, and the authentic you doesn't allow negative emotions to influence your life for more than 3 seconds at a time, because the authentic you loves you. There's so many beliefs that I'm picking up on. It's like an energy that's been diluting who you really are. And you've been trying to live your life as this other person, but deep down inside, you're not happy. You know you're a different person, you know who you are, but you're living your life in the shadow of the light of others because you feel like you're a bipedal humanoid or a reptilian or a gray, a beta, zeta reticuli, whatever you are. You don't have to live by their belief systems. You have your own belief systems. You don't really know what your future holds. You don't really know what decades and millennia from now, how you'll be remembered. So do you want to be remembered or to live your life even one more fucking minute as someone who was told how to be you? Or do you want to live your life as the version of you that you know you are, that you've been hiding underneath all these clouds and opinions and voices of other people? Where you've been, the Cinderella to everybody, where you've been the gopher, go get this, go get that, for this, for that. Like, just don't. Just be you. And I don't know how else to say that. I mean, it's easy for me because when I try to pretend to be something else, it pisses me off. I get irritated. And then when I get irritated, I recognize that irritation is pointing at me being inauthentic to myself. So I snap back to being myself. Other people don't usually like it when I'm being myself because I can be snarky. I'm really kind, but I don't take shit from people. I don't care if you're my mother or my grandmother or the Pope on a different planet. Do not disrespect me because I will not disrespect you. And if you do disrespect me, I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to disrespect you. So be who you are, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Because the true version of you does not cause harm to others. He or she does not steal. They do not lie. They do not manipulate. If you did, you wouldn't be on this channel. Because we share a vibration. If you're watching this video, we are at least within the same spectrum of a vibrational existence. Lower or higher, it doesn't matter. We're still within the same rainbow. We're still under the same sun, technically. The thing that's occurring for you today, or the multiple things that are occurring for you today, require you to be yourself. Let the dominoes fall. Stop trying to protect everyone and everything from who you are. If you're transgender, go fucking be transgender. If you're gay, be gay. If you're straight, be straight. Who cares? You want to know who cares? The people that want you confused so they can feed off your energy. Those people care. Because those people like the conflict. They like the confusion and the multiple versions of you that they've learned to sequence, into a rotation of, how do I put this? It's kind of like you're the juice that they can add different flavors to depending on what they want to taste. Another meditation card surrounded by prisms, crystals, orbs, light, clarity, truth. The Nine of Cups. So you've been waiting for something, there's been a lot of conflict in it, and by the end of this night, probably by 9 p.m. or 9 a.m., depending on where you are, things will be made clear to you. If and only if you can manage to maintain a vibration of yourself. The misfortune card here, this probably happened in the past. Something happened that caused you to separate from someone. Someone was sick, either physically or mentally. If someone passed away, I apologize for your loss. These clarifiers are regarding the past. Your now is the Four of Wands and the Sun. Your immediate kind of in the next hour or so is a message that comes in. It could be this video you're watching, the Knight of Voices, that brings you clarity. Once that clarity is attained, you innately begin to manifest with more clarity, which then brings in the Judgment card. People, places, and things from the past being revealed, being brought back, being balanced out, which then has you moving forward in a different direction. Where you thought you were going, you're not going anymore. You're going to be going in a different direction. The things you were manifesting and waiting for will come, but it will feel like a conflict when they arrive. It's kind of like somebody's planning a surprise birthday party. And if you're in a bad mood, you're going to probably be irritated. If you're an introvert, you're probably not going to want to go out. But fight against that. Fight against your innate self-defense mechanisms of self-isolating, self-criticizing, whatever it is you do that has become a service to yourself to keep you in line with the rest. You're unique and there's no one else like you. Your wishes matter, your dreams matter, you matter. You are worthy, you are valid. What you've been through has shaped who you are, but it doesn't need to shape who you're going to become. You can change your situation, but first, before you change anything, you have to change your emotional state internally. And one thing that you should keep in mind, depending on your situation, if there's people around you abusing you, taking from you, lying to you, or causing any sort of distress in your life, distance yourself from them today. Even if it means you're going to be by yourself in a park somewhere, or a forest, or just by the lake. Do something to go outside. All these cards are outside. The ones that are inside shows that whatever's going on inside the home isn't healthy for you right now. You're being asked to go somewhere that has to do with nature, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. So that this illness, this person pretending to be sick, or this person that has used their illnesses to keep you in check, whatever it is, can find someone else just for today so that you can do some service for yourself instead of being at the beckoning call of someone who doesn't really seem to appreciate you. For others of you, you have been appreciated, and the person you've been taken care of is going to really come and give you something amazing today. It could be an inheritance, it could be whatever, depending on the situation. Some of you could be getting a raise at work. This is really, though, another golden heart in nature right here by the solar and sacral chakras. Please try to go out into nature today. Pretty please. What else does Gemini need to know for their now day regarding all this? Thank you. The Muse of Materials and the Hermit. Again, someone out in the sand waiting for something to grow. But the thing you're waiting for requires you to go somewhere else by yourself. Now, let's get a advice cards before I keep repeating myself because the message is really fucking clear. Get out of the house, avoid people, be by yourself, and check your emotions. Check your thoughts. You don't need to journal. You don't need to, you know, you don't need to do anything. Just feel better. You can do your emotions without doing anything. But when you're outside of nature, it helps your emotions balance better because you're not looking at four white walls. What did I say earlier? Stop trying to be like them. Don't dim to fit in. The great gathering, your soul tribe showing up. It's all happening, and you're being asked to be authentic. Otherwise, you're going to be on the other side of your soul tribe. It's kind of like She-Ra, the original She-Ra and He-Man. She-Ra used to work with Skeletor, I think, and then she recognized who she was and left Skeletor's team and went into Castle Grayskull and got her power from the sorceress. All these cards are screaming nature at me. Isolated and alone, out in the desert, flying above it, trying to find clarity, manifesting with the same pillar that you were floating on, but now instead of four people, it's four orbs. So it's like the lessons you learned from those people, or it could be Venus, Earth, Mercury, Jupiter, those planets in your chart. Something coming to clarity with this card looking at the Pegasus, and that clarity bringing you movement forward towards something you thought was over or that wouldn't happen because there was a piece missing, but that missing piece is actually the door that opens the way for you to go towards massive amounts of prosperity and abundance. So sunrise, sunset, within this day, from sunrise to sunset, if you can find some humor in your life and some peace within your being, the way will be made clear. What plant is this? Flowers, apples, or there could be pomegranates. But it's definitely a bridge through a forest, and it's the same character over here walking. You notice how some of those dominoes right down there, there's like a domino missing. It's not missing, it's the path. I'm getting short of breath, that anxiety feeling again, Gemini. You are really going to be taking the first steps today towards something. I just heard grandiose, I just heard you have no idea what a legend you really are. And some of you won't know what a legend you really are because legends usually don't know in their own lifetime. Don't let what other people do and how they live determine what you do and how you live. There's a path for you that goes in a different way. And in order for you to go in that different way, you have to think differently. Notice the outline of the mirrors back there. And behind those, there's all these mirrors here, and the people like looking through all the different possibilities. That means overthinking, internal overthinking. So while you're sitting there overthinking, maybe try to overfeel positive emotions instead. I don't know if you know the story of, I don't know if it's Krishna or Shiva, I'm not really sure, but it's one of the Indian like history or mythology, I'm not certain which one, but the female character, the divine feminine, was attempting to be with someone and he didn't want to be with her. And she went off on her own and started meditating and channeling all the energy of existence into herself until she became so full of that energy of life that he ended up finding her from her energetic signature. It's kind of like this card. Don't dim to fit in. Keep pulling your own energy into yourself and glow and shine so brightly that Doctor Strange finds you while you're creating a Nexus event kind of thing. Don't run into someone else's Nexus event. Don't be a variant to someone else. Do your thing and be your own version of you. Let me see here. Let's get the fairies, because there's a lot of nature on here. Friends. There's going to be someone that's going to help you, that's going to lift you up today. 4 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 20. It goes back to 210 seems significant. Gemini, this is going to sound weird, but by the time it's nighttime tonight, I want you to go out and look out the window or go outside and find the moon. There will be a star above the moon, possibly to the right. Notice the moon he's carrying on his leg and the tail that looks like a star. Notice how they're flying, like taking that with them. I want you to go outside tonight and look out into the sky. Look for the stars. There's something there that I don't know if you know this, but we're like in a massive computer, right? A data storage, a universe of information. Those stars hold information, just like the earth holds information of the earth and all the incarnations you've had on the earth, like in Akashic Records, but at the Earth Library. So when you're looking at the stars out in the heavens, you can get the information you yourself put in those planets and star systems downloaded into you here. Go outside tonight and meditate with the stars. Bring down that information. Look at the stars, let them dance, let them wiggle, let your eyes blur as you're staring at the stars. Feel that starlight on you, because the stars at night in our skies are suns in daytime in other universes and galaxies, etc., whatever. Bring that information in. This is going to be a really big day for you, a really life-changing, clarifying, like a flood of goodness coming into your life, washing away the bad. And if you're holding bad within you, whatever bad means to you, it'll take that part of you with it. And then you might feel fragmented, broken, missing something. So do what you can to let go of what you know you need to let go of as simply as you can. Simple, simple, simple. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. And you know that sometimes you just need to connect with nature and have a little fun. 4 plus 9, what is that? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5. So 5, definite change coming. And the change coming that's being asked of you to make is to have a little more fun by yourself. If you have a really close friend, try to just be by yourself today, because I'm being shown that there's something about the people you're hanging around with, their energy, their life, their belief systems that you've absorbed into your system that you're not really aware of. Like all these 9 orbs, did you really put all those 9 orbs there yourself with your own intention and your own wishes? Or is it some of the other programs and beliefs from other people? Like the white picket fence house, the dog, the kid, the partner, the car. Is that really what you want? Is that really why you're upset? It's time for a blank slate, if just for today. There's so much light in your life, Gemini. There's so much light, but you don't see it. I just heard lines from the song by The Weeknd, Blinded by the Lights. A fairy was kissed by pixies. And the singer of the chalice at the bottom of the deck. 2 3s. The number 33 and the number 6 are going to be significant. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. What I'm seeing here, I can't put into words. It's too magnificent. And you might not even realize the full potential of how much this day is going to affect you. Like, you probably won't even recognize it for years to come. But if you follow the advice given here, feel positive emotions, download from the stars, go out in nature, and drink a lot of water. Stop overthinking and clear your energy of other people's energy. Take a salt bath, go out in nature, walk barefoot, hug a tree, be alone today if you can. And if you can't be alone, then do not engage in any conflict. Don't speak very much. Don't engage with other people. Do not physically touch anybody unless it's to give them a hug. And even then, cleanse your energy afterwards. It's imperative that your energy remain your own energy today. What's coming to you requires you to be you and to be looking at your own energy. It's like a letter being given in the mail and there's two people with the same name at the same location. Which one's the John Smith that you are, right? Well, you'll know by the energy. So if there's somebody that, for example, like a sci-fi movie, if somebody's cloned you and they're taking your energy and matching your energetic signature, then the universe is going to be kind of confused, like, why is there two of you here? And the more you are authentically yourself, the more you're going to shine as who you are, and all the imposters will be revealed for who they are. Right now, you're not seeing things too clearly. You've been really, believe it or not, in a masculine energy, and you've been attempting to do intuition and to guide yourself through masculine energy. And it doesn't really work that way. The masculine energy requires a feminine energy, and feminine energy receives, it allows, it observes, it grows, it expands, it nurtures, it nourishes. It's like the wind. It just comes and blows through your hair and it changes everything without you even knowing. It's like I just saw somebody shooting an arrow at someone's back, and that person is just walking, and the arrow is like flying at their back. But then there's a bird that just flies across above the arrow, and the wind from its wings knocks the arrow down. And the person walking never even knew. It's like, that's your advice. Be oblivious to the external world today. I hope this serves you, Gemini. Please let me know what did occur. If you want to. I'm just really curious. And for what it's worth, every time I've split this deck, I've seen this card. Warrior woman. Put down the sword. Just for today, stop fighting. I feel like I'm talking to somebody in the military field, or somebody that's like in politics or the government, someone who's like doing a lot of therapy, or like a psychiatrist or a doctor, someone who's taking care of other people constantly but not taking care of themselves. I don't know how to word this to you in the English language. If it was Assyrian or Aramaic or something else, I would just simply tell you, sit your ass down. But it would sound way more philosophically correct. But in English, all I can tell you is sit down in nature. Like, just go be by yourself. And I'm trying really to sense your energy, and there's so much that isn't yours that I feel dirty. Like, I feel like I just want to pluck every fucking hair out of my arms because it's not my hair. Like, that's what it feels like. Like this nagging irritation of something that isn't mine that's on me. Ugh. Return to sender, return to sender, return to sender, all that does not belong to me. Okay. call back my energy from all time and space and all realities, known and unknown. And Gemini, no weapon forged against you or our collective will ever prosper in this reality or any other, known or unknown. Okay? Accept peace. Choose peace. Choose love. Choose yourself just for today. Walk away from things that have been eclipsed out of your life. Stop grieving over things that don't work. Stop juggling so much with all the things you want to do and then walking off cliffs without you knowing where you're going because you're too busy and stressed out, balancing your entire life and everything else. I mean, it's fucking exhausting just reading this and all these words coming out of my mouth without a single breath being taken in. Good God, Gemini, what do you do for work? Here, look at Lily for a bit. Where'd she go? She's right here. You see her? Hi. Can you say hi to the world? Need some pudding cuddle time. Where are you, Lily? Where are you, Lily? Squishy, squishy, squishy. I love you, Gemini. Here. Have some clarity, energy. Clean, clean, clean your energy. Take care of yourself, Gemini.